Welcome on in, guys. Three Bold Takes again. We're continuing our schedule preview and prediction. This video, we're going to look at Utah. They're in the Big 12 now. So long, Pac-12. So sorry to see you go, truthfully. But here we are with Utah now. The schedule's on the screen, obviously, you can see. Going into the year, there's two ranked opponents, Oklahoma State and Arizona. I don't think Arizona will be ranked when they play them. Therefore, I think this is one of the easier schedules that you could draw in the Big 12. But, I mean, let's be honest. Really, there's two or three teams in the Big 12 that, could do some damage, and I think Utah is one of them. And you don't play Kansas State, which is phenomenal if you're a Utah fan. So, to me, personally, I'm seeing 11-1 in the regular season here for Utah. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Cut the tape. I'm sorry, Quinn. I'm going to interrupt you here.
there. You go.
12-0. Utah didn't do it right. Utah is finishing this season 12-0. That's simple. Their only struggle game is Oklahoma State. You can maybe even fit in Colorado right there. No,
Stop.
Get out of here with the Colorado thing. But you're wrong. You're being unfair to UCF and Iowa State. I think those are actually teams who could, especially with it being late in the year, when they could already have like a Big 12 title spot locked up. Those are losable games. I'm going to say 11, and I'm with Freddie. I think 11-1. I think the 9.5. I'm betting the over. No question. No question. I do not understand why 9.5 is Utah's over under.
Yeah. No, I think it's 12-0. You just look at the schedule. You have a lot of former Group of 5 teams you have on your schedule: Houston, BYU, UCF. And then you got just an easy start to the season. You don't play any hard non-conference games. Utah State's Southern Utah. I mean, it's the only struggle game you have is at Oklahoma State. After that, and now I'm going to pinch this out to you guys because this is probably one of the easier schedule videos we're going to do. I'll pinch this out to you. Yes, it's great they don't play Kansas State, but when they have to play them in the Big 12 championship, Utah might lose because they're not battle tested. Exactly.
We've seen it before. No, we've seen it before. I mean, I don't think that's crazy to say at all. I mean, I think losing to Oklahoma last year was Texas's best thing that ever happened to them. Right? I mean, without that loss, there's no telling what would have happened. Right now, I know the season didn't end the way they wanted it to, but I think that was the best thing that happened for Texas.
Yeah, I think when you look at it, you're playing this easy schedule, and then you go in and you play a tough team. I think if they had Kansas State in the regular season, it'd be a really good game that they could win. But if you play them in the Big 12 championship game, and you're playing this easy of a schedule and you're blowing folks out and not really having any competition, that could be a game you lose that knocks you out of the college football playoff potentially or into the back half that you don't want to be in, considering you could have a locked-in first-round bye.
So let me ask you this. You look at the schedule. How many games, not that they will lose, but how many games on their schedule do you think they can lose? Because for me, I see 5 games. They won't lose all.
Right.
So I'm saying like teams that could be, like they could lose to Arizona.
3.
They could lose to Oklahoma State.
Okay.
Iowa State. UCF. And then the last one for me, the battle for the Beehive boot with BYU. I think they could lose that game exclusively because it's a rivalry game. So and not only is it a rivalry game, this is going to be the first time since sometime in the mid-2000s when they were both in the Mountain West together that they've played, that the game has meant more than just they're playing each other this year for because they do a lot like the Commander-in-Chief Trophy with the military schools where all 3 schools in Utah play each other, and then whoever has the best round-robin record wins the trophy. That's why they always play Utah State, BYU. But this is going to be the first time that they play them in a conference setting in a long time.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think that could bite them in the butt. Now, I think they get it at home, though, which so
I see 3 possible losses.
Well, Iowa State, UCF, and Oklahoma State.
I was going to go Oklahoma State, Arizona, and UCF. Those are the three.
Am I just too high on Iowa State? Is that what I'm learning right now?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Iowa State is one of mine, but I do think you're very high on Iowa State because they ended up the season pretty well, but I think they were kind of rough to start last year. And it just...
It's at home, too. I mean, I don't know.
I just don't see Utah struggling with this schedule. Again, there's Colorado, but mainly Oklahoma State.
Are you seriously saying 12-0?
I am. I'm going 12-0. If Utah doesn't go 12-0, then they're doing something wrong during the season. They need to switch something up. This is literally one of the easiest schedules I've seen by far. Now,
I think if they go undefeated, it'll be their first undefeated season since like the year they beat Alabama in the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah, 2007,
8.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, I think we already knew them going into the Big 12 was going to be easier for them. But you also, like, if Jed Fish still was at Arizona, that's a different game. You know, if TCU was still a similar team to when they were runner-up national champions, if you threw in Kansas State somewhere, or maybe if you put Oklahoma State in the back half of the season, maybe last game, it's a different atmosphere, different game for that moment. Because
like
probably fighting for a Big 12 championship appearance right there.
I don't want to go too off the rails. This just popped into my brain. You avoided what I think might be the biggest trap game in all of Big 12, which is playing like a weekday night in Morgantown, West Virginia. That's like a scary place to be. So you don't have anything like that either.
Yeah, I mean, because there aren't any true trap games either. Like Baylor's bad, Arizona isn't going to be great. Arizona State's bad, TCU is going to be mediocre, and then you got your group of fives: Houston, BYU. I mean, maybe your UCF, Iowa State, like you mentioned, Quinn, but there's just nothing like, hey, I just played this 2 tough games and then, oh, there should be an easy win and then it's a loss. You know, I think Utah set up well. If they're not a top 4 team this year with a bye week, going into round 1, then yeah.
I guess for me, and the reason UCF just sticks for me so much is I could see a world where they're 11-0 and have already locked up a spot in the Big 12 title game. And they're playing Gus Malzahn on the road. And it's just such a Gus Malzahn thing to, like, beat a team in that situation.
Yeah. Don't forget KJ Jefferson down there.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so excited to watch that. I know that has nothing to do with Utah, and this is where we're going to end it. But I'm so excited to see KJ Jefferson at UCF with Gus Malzahn. But that's all we have for the Utah schedule preview and prediction video. We got a lot of these on the channel, so feel free to scroll and watch those. It's been Freddie, Chase, and Quinn with 3 Bold Takes. We'll see you next time.